In 2007, actor and comedian Steve Martin was interviewed about his memoir, Born Standing Up. In the last 5 minutes, he was asked if he had any advice for aspiring performers. "Nobody ever takes note of my advice," Martin said, "because it's not the answer they want to hear. What they want to hear is, here's how you get an agent, or here's how you write a script. But I always tell them to be so good that they can't ignore you." Martin goes on to explain that when somebody is focused on being really, really good, people are drawn to them. If you're not focused on being so good that they can't ignore you, you're at risk of being left behind. This clarity allows us to focus on what we're doing for the world instead of what the world is doing for us. It allows us to keep our head down and focus on adding value. Let's take a hypothetical. Let's take your pharmacy, let's pick it up, and let's put it at the corner of a Walgreens, a CVS, and a Walmart. Would you succeed? Would you grow? There are actually pharmacies today that this is their business model. Let somebody else decide where to put a pharmacy. They succeed at this because they figured out how to be better. If that scares you, you need to be thinking about how can I be so good that they can't ignore me. Today I'm going to propose 3 things to get you started. Number 1, you need to get motivated. Number 2, you need to get educated. And number 3, you need to get the best tools in your pharmacy. When Alan Bellamy returned from the Korean War, his mother invited him to join her in a mom and pop grocery store. Alan said it was so small when you opened the front door, it hit the meat counter in the back of the building. But business was good, real good, for Alan and his mother in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. With limited capital and unlimited enthusiasm, Alan convinced the bank to loan him $95,000 to open up a supermarket. Opening day was a big success, and Alan's business grew and grew and grew. But then the word got out that the place to open a supermarket was Pine Bluff, Arkansas. In the next 6 months, 10 chain competitors opened up businesses in town. With each opening, Alan saw his business shrink and shrink and shrink until eventually he was making less money in the new location than he was in the old. Things were looking really bleak. But then Alan and 4 of his staff signed up for a public speaking class that focused on motivation and enthusiasm. When the course was over, they decided we're going to be 5 times as enthusiastic as we ever were before. Customers were greeted with enthusiasm when they came through the door, and attitude changed from front to back and top to bottom. In 4 short weeks, Alan's business doubled. Now let's get things right here. The population of Pine Bluff, Arkansas didn't explode overnight. The competitors didn't all of a sudden turn in the towel, although 7 of them eventually did. The only thing that changed was motivation and enthusiasm. Alan went on to open 26 successful supermarkets. You need to figure out how to get motivated. How many of you probably feeling pretty motivated right now, right? You need to figure out how to take a piece of that back to your pharmacy each and every day. Number 2, you need to get educated. The dinosaur syndrome threatens even the most successful entrepreneur today, because the world of business, and especially pharmacy, is in a constant state of adaptation and change. Pharmacy today is almost unrecognizable compared to 10 years ago, or even 5. Without continuing education, the pharmacy owner risks seeing all of his insights and practices become obsolete right before his eyes. What works today is probably not going to work tomorrow. If continuing education is not on the docket, you are at risk of being extinct. One of the big misconceptions is that education takes a lot of time. Education can happen in the time it takes to drink a cup of coffee. Put down that game on your smartphone and take some time for education. Partner with organizations like PDS that condense the information and gather it for you and feed it to you in a more condensed pattern. Follow industry leaders on social media and on our website. Number 3, you need to get the best tools in your pharmacy. As many of you know, Pioneer has been rapidly growing over the last 10 years. One of the requirements of that is a continuous expansion of our facilities. When our installers are in town, they actually work on construction. There's something really cool about your sweat and your energy being in the walls of the place where you work. One of the things we've learned from this is that many times the difference between a novice and an artisan, between failure and success, is having the right tools. Same thing goes for you. There is no way you can be so good that they can't ignore you without having the right tools in your pharmacy. And there is a massive difference between a fill and bill pharmacy system and a system that's going to take you into a clinical future. If you were going to buy a racehorse, you can buy them at all kinds of price points. $1 million, $500,000, $100,000, 50, 10. So let's have some fun with math. I know it's early. I'll do the heavy lifting for you. You can buy 100 $10,000 horses for the price of $1 million horse. 100 times 10,000 million. So this means that a $1 million horse is 100 times faster than a $10,000 one, right? Wrong. It's not 100 times faster or 50 or 40 or 30 or 20. A matter of fact, in a recent race, the first place horse won $520,000 more than the second place horse, who finished only 1 inch behind. Little things can make a big difference. I encourage you today to change. Number 1, I encourage you to get motivated. I encourage you to focus on positive things. Ignore negative things. Find a way to get motivation into your pharmacy every single day. Number 2, I encourage you to get educated. Learn from the successes and failures of others. Budget some time every week for education. And number 3, I encourage you to get the best pharmacy tools in your pharmacy. Here's a tweet for you. If your pharmacy system is a dinosaur, you're probably going to be a dinosaur too. But in the hands of a highly motivated and educated pharmacy staff, the best pharmacy system can be the tool that allows you to be, in the words of Steve Martin, so good they can't ignore you.